Good afternoon, good evening, and good day. Good morning to those of you on the West Coast. This is going to be a short show today because I have an event to get to after this. But we do have some stuff lined up for you today. And I've actually got a lot of it already lined up, amazingly. It's amazing what being 7 minutes late will do. So let's get started. Let's go to. First, let's make sure you can hear me, and then we'll get started. That's not live. Audio. Short show today because yes, but it's coming through the wrong speaker. I don't know what's going on there. Let's make sure the right microphone is in use. I don't need the speaker so much until we get somebody on. All right, so it's using the right stuff, but the audio, just like on the Tesla Live show this week, is coming through the sound bar instead of the monitors, and the computer thinks it's using them. So let me check see if the Mac is overriding the software, because if you don't have one program that knows better than you have two programs that know better than you. And yes, that's exactly what's happening. So use the speaker. Yes, baby, yes. Can't use the speaker. So we'll do. What's that? Grandpa what? Yeah, we're going to Grandpa's house in a little bit, baby. We'll say hi to everybody? Man. Oh, it's Sunday. And tomorrow's a holiday. So no mail. So uh it's Memorial Day tomorrow. So also Remembrance Day, I believe. So want to remember those that have gave the ultimate sacrifice for freedom and our countries. Yeah. No, Grandma and Grandpa are veterans. They're not. It's not Memorial Day for them. Yeah. Grandma. Grandma's house is another day. That's a long drive. Yeah. When? I don't know when. Sometime next month, probably. Let's see, we want the headphone audio. Okay, and then we want to switch to the. You want to say hi to everybody? Yeah. All right, so then we want to go to the presentation view and get started. Come on. There we go. Okay, so first up, let's talk a little bit about Nissan. Let's do it. So Nissan's going to launch a Rogue-like electric SUV, but production delays continue. Let's see what Electric has to say about that. First, let's check the comments. No comments. Interesting. Space, a little special space for Nissan since they were the first with a full electric modern EV, plug-in only, not the hybridness. Yeah, car scene. Nice if you wouldn't kick my leg. That kind of hurts. Mommy? I'm not mommy. Daddy? Yes, baby. Sheet. Grandpa sheet? Grandpa sheet. I don't know what that one was. Huh? Grandpa name? Oh, Grandpa's name. Huh. You want down? You know my name too. My name's Kacey. What's your name, baby? You know your name. Baby's name is baby name. What does mommy and daddy call baby? That was close enough. Toe mommy. Toes mommy? Toe. Toe. Toe mommy. Why toe instead of co? Toe. Toe, not co. Okay. Toe. Toe. Hi, toe. Anyway, so since Nissan was the first with a modern EV, they have a special place with us here. Do you want to get down? No, you don't. Can you sit down at least? Because I can't use the mouse and hold you up. We'll see what I say about that. Anyway, let's see what they have to say about this new Rogue-like SUV. So let's see. It'll be like the Rogue Sport, and it will be built out of the Canton, Mississippi plant. and they were planning on delaying again after putting a $500 million investment on hold. Not looking good. Hey, get down. I've been asking you. Have fun. Bye. Well, an Infinity would be nice. I don't know. So Nissan, they had a little bit of the rabbit in the hare situation. They got started early, along with the Chevrolet Volt, and then they just squandered their lead. They had it for years. They had the best selling EV in the world, and then they then took a nap. And everybody else had liquid cooled EVs, and they actually put investments in them. And then you had the Chevy Bolts, the well, not that it was very high production, but you had the Honda Fit EV. You had a whole bunch of other products that were low priced, decent construction and features, and they did not adapt. They just kept reskinning it. Actually, they didn't even reskin it for a while. The second gen Leaf is really just a reskinning of the old thing, but they did nothing to it for years. The Aria fixes a lot of those problems. It has CCS and eventually NACS, and it's liquid cooled. They put the charge port in a weird place. Yes, it's the same place that a lot of people put theirs, but it's not really compatible with NACS, and it is better than where Rivian is putting their charge ports because you don't have to do the I work for a public utility, walk around the car every time you get out at your house or place of business. But it's not compatible with street parking. It's not so inconvenient that if your charger is placed in a reasonable spot, you can't just click it in there. So that, like I said, it is better than where Rivian's putting theirs. But they should have kept the nose spot. That made more sense. Keep it on the nose, or they could have moved it to the back left, just like Tesla. They were already in talks with them about the NACS. So we'll see it when we see it, and it won't look anything like these pictures. So I mean, if you squint, but that's what we've got. And let's see. Let's move on to the next thing because, well, why not? So this Tesla released their climate impact, not actually climate impact, their impact report um, late. This is the one for 2023, and they had some points, but then they made this article where they highlighted the highlights. So rather than us skimming through the article together, or rather than us skimming through the report together, let's just look at the article and see what they thought was worth highlighting. Not much different than what we would have done with the impact report, except more condensed, because I wouldn't have done the analysis on it. I'm going to leave that for Patrick over at carsandcords.net because he's much better at this as far as the analysis. He can say, this is what the goals, this is what they achieved, this is the amount of improvement. I bet you he might even already have an article up about that. So, actually, you know what? We can check. We'll check after we read this. Somebody remind me. So let's see. This is the 2023 Impact Report. Tesla was founded to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. To accomplish this mission, we need to design products that are far superior to the fossil fuel alternatives in every way. We design and manufacture a fully integrated ecosystem for energy and transportation. Our products work together to maximize their impact. I wonder how all of this is going to work with the whole AI thing. I know AI can work in here, but I don't know if they're going to change this with the new AI focus. Hopefully, this doesn't get left, no matter how they decide they want to structure that. All right, so here's a photo. We got solar, feeds into energy storage, comes back and forth with Autobidder. Autobidder it can make you some money if it's working for you. Battery cells lead into energy storage and cars. You've got charging, which leads into cars. Energy storage, which leads into charging, it does. Full self-driving goes back and forth with the cars, maximizing utilization through software. I guess AI could go in here. And then all of that feeds into robotaxi. I guess that's AI too. Let's continue on. The mission is not just about the future of our planet, but also about preventing over 8 million premature deaths each year caused by pollution from burning fossil fuels. A admirable goal. 20 million metric tons of CO2 emissions are avoided by our customers in 2023. While EVs currently have a higher greenhouse gas footprint through manufacturing phase, I've told you guys this time and time again. Uh, the latest, before I read the next part, the latest at the time of my last research has been that the EV is cleaner than the fossil by the fossil's second oil change. And so anybody saying, oh, well, it costs more and uses more resources to make an EV, well, as long as you aren't throwing away that gas car by the second oil change, you got nothing to worry about. Let's see if it's improved. Uh, let's see. A single Tesla vehicle will avoid about 51 tons of CO2 over its life, CO2 emissions over its life. As energy generation becomes cleaner over time, this impact will grow. So they haven't updated that figure yet, which is fine. Actually, technically, they kind of have 51 tons. Let me go in another window and ask a robot, just because it's quicker. Let's do one that doesn't lie so much. Let's see, average emissions, manufacturing, and American automobile. ICE fee. 3,000 kilograms. Let's see. Let's get it in tons and for latest new cars, you can get. I guess I should have phrased that a little differently, but it works. Let's see. So still 3,000 kilograms equals 3 tons. Yeah, so we're saving over 51 tons over the life of the car, just for Tesla. So don't worry about it, basically. I'd have to actually do the research and check these sources that the thing is cited to know 100%. But uh, Tesla doesn't give their manufacturing impact, so it's kind of hard to compare apples to apples that way. So after 17 years of driving, the average life of a vehicle in the U.S., yeah, it's ticked up. The amount of people with a 12-year-old car has gone up considerably. Same for 20-year-old cars since the latest economic turmoil we were under. Good evening, Anders. Good to see you. Always good to see you. Happy Remembrance Day to you as well. I think everybody celebrates it on the same day. If not, happy late or early Remembrance Day too. Okay. Um, so let's see. As I was saying, they keep the cars a lot longer than typical, or historically, I should say, not typical. So they measured that over 17 years and got 51 tons. And this is the longest I've had a vehicle either, as well. It's pushing 6 years old this summer, and it's, I've never had one this long. As opposed to fossil fuel extraction, raw materials needed for batteries are not single use. That's the other thing that I always keep saying is you can't recycle the cobalt or the lithium or whatever else you've put in to do your gasoline, diesel, LPG processing. Once it's spent, it's burnt up, it's done, it's gone. Whereas after you have used up or wrecked up an EV, you can take the battery out. If it's still good, you can repurpose it right away. If it's not good, you can recycle it immediately. Or if it, if you had used it when it's done with its new jobs, you can then recycle it and make a brand new, better battery than the one it was originally. Even it. Hi. You want to play a game? Okay. Let me check your volume and turn you on there. Hold on, hold on. There you go. Even if peak demand, the transition to sustainable energy economy will result in 18 gallons less of raw material extraction every year. Let's see, the current mining extraction uh, versus sustainable energy economy. Let's see, in gigatons. All other materials, 18 gigatons for, what's that, for fossil fuels? Not entirely clear. The current mining extraction is 50. 50 is a fully sustainable economy, and then they need 3. It's not a very clear graph, but I think it's the same thing that Elon's been saying, is that once we've got it to the point where we're recycling these things like lead batteries, it will be self-sustaining, and we won't need anywhere near as much in gigatons extracted out of the earth as we'll be able to get from recycling. Let's see, we've got another chat in the multi-stream. Let's take a look. And I am sorry for those of you who normally watch me on Twitch. I changed a lot of my passwords, not all of them, but I changed a lot of them, and that meant that the Twitch got updated for our other platform that we do Tesla Life from, but it did not get updated for this one. I logged in and everything, and it didn't pop up a warning, so I missed it. I'm sorry. Let's see. We celebrate Mother's Day in Sweden today. Oh, happy Mother's Day! There we go. Yeah, the Thai celebrate Mother's Day and Father's Day on different day than us as well. It's quite fun because sometimes I'll get the reminder and I'll remind my wife, "Hey, this is your Mother's Day." uh, None of our batteries go to landfills at the end of their usable life. We recycle them to build brand new batteries. And people will say, "Oh, well, that's going to be a long time off." Blah blah blah. No, they have a lot of rejects at the factory, so they have to recycle them pretty early in the cycle. And by a lot, I don't mean by percentage. I just mean by quantity. Like you look at their pile of recycled batteries to go to recycle. That's a lot of batteries. It's a lot of cars, but that's a lot of batteries. The raw material mining, battery recycling, battery production, lifetime and vehicle usage. There you go. Batteries are designed to outlast the life of the vehicle. After 200,000 miles, the Model 3 and Y have retained 85% of their original capacity on average. So let's see, we're looking at about 200,000 miles, and they're still above 80%, assuming that line is 80% and that line is 100%. They look like it. Not centered on it, but they look like it. Interesting. Mine is, what, 88 kilowatt hours remaining out of 102, 103 now. So 6 years. It's not just about miles with an EV battery, it's also about time. So I've got pushing 100,000 miles and I'm pushing 6 years. So you can add that to the data point with a much older technology and process. We aim to reduce our vehicles' carbon footprint through their full life cycle, raw material mining, manufacturing, and product use and disposal. The water use per vehicle produced by Tesla is coming down over time. This is a huge point that the protesters in Germany have been trying to make, is that Tesla uses water to make their cars, as does everybody else. Yes, baby. Well, if you don't want to work it, you can close it. Oh, it's broken. Yeah, I'll fix it for you. There you go. Our program froze. Um, so they want you to, because they're complaining about water, they want you to think that the water they're complaining about is water for manufacturing. Whereas what they're really complaining about in Germany is the water that is coming from the toilet facilities and the kitchen facilities at Giga Berlin, not the water from the cars, because they have zero waste uh, from the water from the cars in Giga Berlin. That they treat it and then they move it to the next thing. They recycle it for, like, say, cooling or something. Then the next phase is they'll use it for, treat it again, use it for watering their landscaping. So they're not actually producing any water waste from the manufacturing process. All the water waste that they have is, and despite the fact that they frame it as if this is coming out of they're dumping raw sewage into the river, they are flushing the toilets and running the drains in the kitchen and and those are going through to a sewage treatment plant, which is then putting out more than they would like to see. It kind of plays into Elon's um, uh, the people he's against that want less people in the world. Uh, I don't know that they're directly going for that as much as they're just being unrealistic about what they're asking for. What they need to be asking is that it, either the treatment plant does better at the treatment, or uh, that Tesla does either pre-treatment at the plant or more pre-treatment at the plant than they already do. I don't know the details about how much they currently do. Just that we discovered through great journalism, not our journalism, but other people's journalism, that that was what they were actually complaining about was what's coming out of the sewage plant, not out of the factory. But uh, if they were arguing uh, in good faith, then yes, this is what Tesla's saying here. So our water use has gone down per car from 3.37 to 2.48 cubic meters of water per vehicle. 35% less energy used per vehicle produced in Shanghai versus Fremont. Wow. Fremont might need to shut down for renovation at some point because Texas is also outdoing them in a lot of stuff as well. 49% of the total HVAC systems at the Gigafactory in Nevada are run by dynamic controls, which is up 100% year over year. That's pretty cool because that's literally in the desert. 100% of Gigafactory Berlin's electricity was matched with renewables in 2023. All right, here we go. I was wondering if I would have to open the report up because they didn't touch safety yet. Safety is a primary design objective for our vehicles, exceeding safety standards across 4 continents. NHTSA, IIHS, Euro NCAP, and ANCAP, and the China system. All right, Model 3 and Model Y, all of them, all of them, Model 3 and Model Y. Impressive. Vehicle fires per billion miles driven in 2022. I'm not quite sure this was a stat that they needed, but people keep bringing it up, so why not address it? So 59.5 million in, sorry, 59.5 per billion miles driven across the U.S. average, and 7.3, per Teslas. Best crash is no crash. Active safety features come standard on every Tesla. When driving with the FSD supervised activated, you're significantly less likely to get into a serious collision based on over 1 billion miles of data. And then, let's see. Then they give us a generic report rather than the FSD report that they just qualified. Safety is enhanced with driving assist technologies. We're looking at miles driven before one accident per million miles in 2023. So with Tesla's driver assist technologies engaged, which would be FSD, autopilot, navigate on autopilot, 5.64 million miles before a crash. Not bad. Just any Tesla vehicles, which all come with the safety features included. Uh, Although this might include some vehicles that don't have the features at all, but they're a rounding error. 1.24 million miles versus 670,000 miles on the U.S. fleet. There we go. Next, you can read the full impact report here. We were going to do that, but like I said, that's what they thought was important. Dun, dun, dun. Moving on. Okay, so I guess this is our new segment, just watching Lucid slowly crash and burn. Fisker has canceled roadside assistance, leaving owners high and dry. Uh, Owners of the Fisker Ocean EV no longer have access to the previously promised 6-year, 60,000 mile of roadside assistance service. It's good luck, everyone. Dear valued Fisker owner, we hope you're enjoying your Fisker driving experience to the fullest. we have an important update regarding our roadside assistance services that we want to share with you. Despite our best efforts, we regret to announce that Fisker roadside assistance is no longer available. It starts out like it's going to be some good news. And then, nah, you're on your own, son. Uh, it's kind of a weird casualty in all this. These sorts of, well, I guess it would depend on how far they're all being towed, how much it's going to cost them. And since they did recently go to a dealer network, that could either increase or decrease the amount of travel we're talking about here. Update: Fisker has confirmed our report, and in a statement to us, they said roadside assistance is no longer available in the United States, which is unfortunate. So we'll see what happens with them going forward. It's not looking good. They are still operational, and they can still turn things around, but I wouldn't hold my breath on it. Lucid, on the other hand, they have cut their workforce by 6%, just ahead of their Gravity electric SUV launch. It seems that everybody in the industry is cutting jobs. And by industry, I don't just mean the EV makers, I mean car makers. So, amid a new restructuring plan, they filed an 8K on Friday announcing a new restructuring plan which cuts about 400 jobs. Uh, CEO Peter Rawlinson emailed employees on May 24th, 2024, explaining the new job cuts amid plans to restructure the U.S. contract workforce. So the reduction will not impact our hourly manufacturing and logistics workforce. However, it will impact employees at all levels, including leadership and mid-level management. Uh, Assuming it's done well and done correctly, this can make them stronger, especially if they had redundancies. I don't see this in the same. I did put them next to each other, but I don't see this in the same light as what's going on at Fisker or VinFast. Nissan preps for next-gen Leaf EV production, but a real challenge awaits. I should have put this with the other articles. So we could be talking about Nissan and then be done with it. Uh, this doesn't look bad. Again, it's not going to look anything like what they showed us at all. But it's good to hear that they're. I don't want to call them promises of a next-gen Leaf, but they suggested that the Leaf's story might not be over. Uh, they have a lot of opportunity to get this done correctly, and we'll see what they do with this. A real challenge awaits is what? The economy? That people don't remember their name. Nissan is preparing to begin production of the next gen Leaf, which could happen as early as next March. So in 11 months. Nope, 10 months. Yes, baby. Oh, you want vitamin? Okay. Vitamin. No, not Spider Man. Vitamin. Somebody's so afraid of bugs. She really loves Spider Man. Thank you. You're welcome. Put that back where you got it. Your pet would be more fun if you were playing games instead of taking pictures of the floor. Yeah, that's what I thought. So here we go. Although over 650,000 Leaf models have been sold globally, new competition has slowed sales. New competition combined with not updating your vehicle in 14 years. Come on now. Uh, okay, so they did a skin job on it a couple years ago, but still 14 years with the same powertrain, the same dimensions, same everything. Come on now. Um, Competition does have a little bit to do with that, but when you don't move at all and they keep coming out with better and better, it's easy to see what's going to happen unless your price goes down and down, which, while it stayed reasonable, it did not go down and down. After ending the production of the iconic Leaf electric car earlier this year, Nissan is preparing its Sunderland plant for a new electric car era. They promised a $3.8 billion investment to upgrade the facility to build 3 electric vehicles and they'll build electric versions of some of its best-selling models, including the Leaf, the Kashashi, and the Juke. I think the Kashashi is the Rogue. First up, next gen Leaf, which is expected to begin trials in August. Oh, good, not bad. They won't go on sale till March. It's interesting. Legacy does things in an interesting timeline. Although they could go from trials to testing, because then you could test the production article in the heat and the cold around the world. It's just been a while since I worked at Legacy, when it was always fun to see the spy shots start coming out, and then if you were working for them, you could see some of the internal documentation start to come out, and it's like it was very exciting. And now it's not so much. We could see the car debut before the end of the year. However, that's if everything goes smoothly. Yeah, typically if they trial manufacturing in August, as early as August, then we could see them on sale as early as late September, early October. So it's good to see they're not going to just hang on to them until March. That would be weird. That's if everything goes smoothly. Yes, indeed. I mean, this does look better to me than the original Leaf. It has a lot less character to it. It's kind of bulbous. But I like the looks better than the original Leaf. Let's just say that. The new Leaf looks all right though. So I mean, look at that. It's not terrible. Looks like a plussed up Versa versus the frog-eyed monster they had before. You thought the original Model 3 was frog-eyed. Oof. And then the rear view on the old Leaf was something else. My wife, every time I'd point out that was her least favorite part of the car. Every time I'd see a Leaf, I'd point it out from the rear, like, "Hey, there's a car you like." He wants you to help him take care of his pet rock. Hit there. You put the rock in the nest. Right here, like this. Look. Oh, is it frozen? Frozen again? What's wrong with your pad today, baby? Wow. No wonder she's upset. The interface is like gone. All right. Let's see. How do they do a hard reset on this thing again? I think it was up, down, power. Yep. You didn't finish that vitamin yet? No. Chew it up. Let me know when that wakes up. Or don't. Okay. You know what? Let me make sure this thing is still operational. It is. Good. All right. So let's see. Creates its own challenges. What creates challenges? And plant staff is being upskilled for EV production. I mean, that's just part of doing business as a manufacturer. You need to make sure your people know how to put the product together. Let's see. Brett Chandler says, "What's hurting the Leaf more than anything else is that the CHAdeMO charging connector." Yeah, that was the other part. They never took it off CHAdeMO, but I did kind of talk about that with the first segment on them. If it weren't for that, and the fear that public charging might not be available, I suspect it would have sold much better the past few years. That, and if they'd given it more range sooner. Yes, they did eventually give it more range, but it was after their sales fell off a cliff. One source said that the design was closer to that of the Aria. Why not? It's the typical legacy manufacturer way. Just change a few bits and bobs there, change the style, change the font. New car for minimal new investment. Another described it as a mini Aria. Interesting. Electrek thinks that with sales of the current Leaf model falling out of favor, it's time for an upgrade. It's been time for an upgrade for many years. Leaf sales are down significantly in every major sales market over the past year as new EVs hit the market. Meanwhile, Nissan's Aria is picking up the slack. Through March, the Aria sales reached 4,142 in the US and 4,050 in Europe, with the next-gen Leaf's debut in sight and 2 electric SUVs to follow. Nissan expects the momentum to continue. So here right now is an opportunity for Nissan to gain some share against Toyota and Honda, uh, who each have one EV in their brand. They've got two, if you count their Acura and Lexus cousins, which are the same car with a little more luxury bits and bobs. What's up, Lee? Happy Sunday. Hope everyone is having a great day. Yes. So what could happen here is Nissan could also do the plus up and make one of these or more of these into Infinities, but also sell them as Nissans. But having 4 for sale before the competition gets 2 for sale gives them a chance to take over some of the Japanese market segment, both in Japan as well as here in North America and in Europe. We'll see if they seize this opportunity or if they squander it like they did with the original Leaf. Moving on. The same story. Okay, I might have clicked it twice, I don't know. This startup is about to install bladeless rooftop wind turbines on box buildings. Try something new. Reduce your expenses, put a little money in your pocket. Like I keep saying, it's not always about doing the right thing for the planet. It's nice if you can have that in your list of what you wanted to do, but if you do it by accident, while trying to save a buck, the rest of the world isn't going to be mad at you. Well, except the ones that have a vested interest in you not doing anything in the right direction because they sell fossil fuels, basically, or they are fossil fuel cheerleaders. As we've seen, there's lots of them for some reason. Aeromine Technologies just closed $9 million round of funding, and it's ready to scale up production of its bladeless rooftop wind turbines. I've seen some videos on these by Matt Farrell and a few others. Ricky did some over at 2-Bit Da Vinci. Well, hopefully they're ready for prime time, and they'll have a home-sized unit sometime soon. This isn't a neighborhood we're looking at, but it's on a flat roof building, so not quite sure what it's powering there. Makes compact 50 kilowatt or larger wind harvesting platforms. So yeah, not ready for home use yet. 50 kilowatts, good gracious. That it mounts on the edge of a building's roof. The rooftop wind units, which have no external moving parts or blades, capture wind flowing up and over the building and convert it into on-site electricity. Its generator system is a rotor stator system with highly efficient 5 kilowatt permanent magnet generator. $50 kilowatts. 5 kilowatts. That's an order of magnitude. What are we doing here? Is it 50 or is it 5? I can see a 5 kilowatt generator on somebody's house. Specs are here. All right, detour, squirrel. Let's make this bigger so I can read it. The Aeromine 5000 weighs half a ton. Survival of 3-second gusts of wind. I'm not sure what survival means here. 120 mile per hour. Oh, okay, it can handle 120 mile per hour winds for 3 seconds. Elevation is less than 5,000 feet. Normal operating temperature is -20 to positive 50 C. Structure has no wearable parts, except for the permanent magnet motor generator underneath this housing. Extension legs for tall pepperets. Hurricane upgrade of the Airmine structure can be upgraded to 158 miles per hour. Interesting use of miles per hour and scientific measurements. All right, so let's get into the kilowatts. 5-blade rotor, 35.4 inches, 120 pounds. Okay, that's not terrible. And I'm leaning towards 5 kilowatts at this point at 120 pounds. Marine grade, aluminum, air passive air cooling. Why not? It's got air coming through it, right? Output to 20 in 3 phases. the Aeromine, the Windgrabber 5000 controller. So this is just your inverter. Yeah, because I was talking about bearings. It's talking about phases. All right, single phase 50 or 60 hertz, 220, 3 phases from generator to sensor cables. Got a safe break. Okay, so that's what they'll do there to shut it down if the wind is too high. Controller cabinet is connected to a braking resistor system, which by default brings the rotor to a full stop. Installs indoor or outdoor. Oh, it's an electric brake. It's not a physical brake. There we go. Energy output. Kilowatt hours per year for 10 units. All right, so there we see 50,000 kilowatt hours. And wind speeds. I don't see. All right, there we go. 5 kilowatt. I don't see where they got 50. Oh, okay. Graph below is calculated for a system of 50 kilowatts, a 50 kilowatt system of 10 units, occupying 170 feet of building face length. Okay. So they only want to sell them in tens. I don't know you'd get 10 of them on a house. But one of them at 5 kilowatts would do the trick. Let's go back to electric. The noiseless technology leverages aerodynamics like airfoils on a race car. Each 1,000 pound unit. 1,124. 124 is just the motor though. Let's see. Let's just read the comments on it. I was just thinking that, it was cool, something a little alter energy that wasn't just solar panels or uh, nuclear or river power. So I wanted to share it, and then got lost in the weeds there with the squirrels. So, top comment is to think the U.S. alone, there must be tens of thousands of acres of factory, warehouse, and mall roof. Yes, exactly. And then behind the edge of the roof, you still have room for photovoltaics. Imagine if all were covered in solar panels, that would be generating electricity near the point of demand. As a bonus, no need for high capacity transmission lines. And there we go. What have we got next? Tesla Cybertruck goes viral, powering a gas station after a Houston tornado. And of course, the naysayers are saying, oh, a truck can't power a gas station. It can't do it for long. They're not refining the gas on site. They were pumping it from underground tanks into your tank in your car. They do it all the time with a single low power generator. This is a medium to high power generator. Not the way they're using it. The way they're using it, they're doing it just a 120 extension cord or two. But they could have done 40 amp, 240 output if they wanted to. They could do it for hours. People always say, "Oh, what are you going to do when there's a power outage?" And what I always say is, not wait in line for a refill, because one, they'll already have been filled up from before the disaster struck. Two, if it's bad enough that I can't drive, then well, now I've got backup power for the house. And if it's bad enough that I need to leave, I'm not going to be sticking around town, so I'll be going to a place with electricity, so we'll be golden. Uh, what are you going to do when you forgot to fill up? You were on E, now you're waiting in line. Oh, the line was too long. I'll get it tomorrow before the evacuation order goes through. And then before that can happen, the station loses power. Yes, I'm solely referring to it in terms of snow and hurricanes and stuff, but uh, they're also way better prepared for tornadoes because, again, they start every day out at their level of what they consider to be full. And you've been running around with the light on all week because, oh, I'll get it tomorrow. Boom, tornado. A lot more likely to hurt you there than an EV. All right, let's see if this actually plays on this unit. It did not play on my phone. It went to a white square. I was going to make it taller, but that doesn't work because that's the reason I made it the height I did. So it fits in the window for you guys to see. Cybertruck powering a gas station after Houston tornado. Yeah, if they had a transfer, oh man, they did the old school way. Yeah, but if they had a transfer switch, they could have done the 40 amp. And this other guy points out that his F-150 power boost can do the same thing with its 7.2 kilowatt Jenny built in. I believe that he's talking about the hybrid there, and yes, people have done that one as well. So all these people ragging on EVs for nothing. All right, and finally, let's talk about HV Nomads. I finally got a 3D model of the HV Nomads rig going on. This is the interior shell, even though it's got an exterior. I don't know how tall this guy is. They say he's 5'8", and yes, he fits in the box, but the box is 7 feet tall. So I don't know, and it's on the Zenith, or it's on the Origin. So if he is also on the Origin, then I don't know how he's the right height. I'm guessing it's like the lensing and the perspective. Yeah, so I've got the wheel well cutouts in there. Um, got the V nose. So right now it's just an empty box, but it's my empty box, and I don't really know how to pan around to this program. Let's try this. Look around. I guess there's not much walking going on. Ah. Oh, I see. It's like a free look. No, it's not a free look. It's just lagging. That's all. Eh. Oh, you guys saw the 360 view of it in real life. So what we'll do next is start laying it out, figure out where we're going to put the window, put the appliances, and then for those of you who purchase stickers, we'll have something similar to this, where we'll put everybody's stickers on the exterior. I gotta get the exterior ready, get the fender on there, get the ramp door, that sort of thing, but it's close enough. We'll figure out the solar panel situation. What's going to be most interesting will be the insulation. I want to get 4 inches of insulation, so that'll be R20, but 4 inches at the top is no big deal. 4 inches on the side will make these wheel wells disappear, because they're not even 4 inches. And then I'm thinking for the underside, I should be able to go thinner, because there's actually an overhang that I haven't yet modeled in from the skin to the bottom of the floor with the joists. Gotta get my 360 camera under there, get my tape measure under there, and figure out for sure how we're gonna handle all that. But baby steps. And I found out that my little portable air conditioner heater, or it's a heat pump, my little portable Wave 2 heat pump from EcoFlow might actually be enough for all of this. When I saw it on super sale, I snagged it without thinking, would it actually work for this? And then I started to freak out because I was using the capacity of the original Wave, which we also have. The original Wave, which is only a air conditioner. We're a couple dozen square feet over the capacity of that unit, but that was like a 105, 107 square feet rating, and the Wave 2 is 130 square feet rating, and my understanding is we're looking at 127 to 131 square feet with the Vinos included, and once they put in all that foam, it's going to get smaller than that, so we'll be well within its capabilities. But the beauty of using this portable unit, we don't have to mount anything on the outside or the roof. and we can just drill 2 large holes in the floor, put some insect and critter grates on them, put some MERV 13 filters on the other side of those tubes, and then we don't have to worry about if we had put a AC unit on the nose of the trailer where you have to stop the fan from spinning because it could overspin, which also means that since we're not worrying about that, we should be able to keep the climate control on while we roll down the highway, so it's never having to cool the whole volume back down again. But I'll do some more number crunching on that. It won't be the 38 SEER, so it will still be less efficient. So we might still end up doing that, but at least we won't have to do it right away because that 38 SEER unit I was looking at was about $2,000 to $3,000 without installation. So that would be a good savings right there. Looking at under $500 versus over $2,000. And if we have enough solar, it doesn't really matter that it's not as efficient as it could be. However, in the wintertime, every watt will count. So we will see how that plays out. But at least it allows us to delay that purchase and focus on other stuff, like those solar panels. And so again, you catch that at hvnomads.com. I want to thank all of you for your time today. And like I said, it was a shorter show because I've got other obligations to get to this evening. And we will catch you on the flip side. And I also want to thank our channel members and patrons for your monetary support of the show. It'll make this a little less painful in the pocket every time I hit the go live button, or every month they want to say, hey, it's time for your connection fee or whatever. So let's do this next week, 1:10 Eastern. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, we've got the Tesla Live show, and then on Wednesday we've got the Tesla Live show. And at some point, I will receive the license plate for the trailer, and so I'll make a post about that over on the HV Nomads notes page, and I might make a YouTube short on it. I don't. It's getting a license plate. I don't know if it's worth making an 8-minute video. Woo! Here's where it is. I mean, there is 8 minutes of content I could do on it, but I'm not yet ready to discuss that part of it yet. That'll be something once we're on the road. So I think a YouTube short would be the best way to cover that. So, happy Memorial Day, happy Mother's Day, happy Remembrance Day, and we'll catch you next time on the flip side.